Mr. Mack-Poole, 3-minute history, the Ridolfi Plot. Let's run through the causes, events and consequences of the Ridolfi Plot. Let's also not forget there are 3 plots, RTB, 1, 2, 3, Ridolfi, Throckmorton, Babington, Ridolfi 1571, Throckmorton 1583, Babington 1586. All of the plots have one thing in common: they all want to restore Catholicism, put Mary Queen of Scots on the throne, take Elizabeth off the throne and get rid of the Protestant faith. So, what were the key causes of the Ridolfi Plot? One of the main causes is the fact that Mary Queen of Scots comes to England in 1568. Don't judge her by the plots that she's got. She's still Mary Queen of Scots. She comes to England in 1568 because she has to abdicate her throne in Scotland because she murdered her husband. You know, just a little bit of Lord Darnley murder. Anyway, so she's placed under house arrest by Elizabeth. Mary Queen of Scots, just by the virtue of being there, provokes a strong response. In 1569, we have the revolt of the Northern Earls. In 1570, and I think this is because Mary Queen of Scots is a viable monarchical choice for the Catholics, Elizabeth is excommunicated by Pope Pius V. And in 1571, we get our first plot. So you can see there's a lot going on in that timeline there because of her abdication and entry into England. Also, let's not forget, Elizabeth had put through her acts of supremacy and uniformity, which seemingly discriminated against Catholics. Elizabeth had also treated the Northern Earls of Westmoreland and Northumberland pretty poorly. That made a lot of anti-Elizabeth and anti-Protestant tension rise in the north and internationally. So all these things helped to contribute and cause the Ridolfi Plot. So who were the conspirators? Well, the main conspirator is who the plot is named after, and that is Roberto de Ridolfi. Okay, so he was a Florentine banker or merchant, which meant that he wouldn't be suspected if he was moving around Europe because he was usually doing business deals. The plot had the active backing of Pope Pius V, who agreed that Elizabeth should be assassinated. King Philip II of Spain also backed the plot, and he would back it with money and an army when necessary. It never got to that stage. And the reason it didn't get to that stage is because of the Duke of Alba, who was in the Spanish Netherlands with 10,000 soldiers. He was too cautious and he kept on writing to the King of Spain saying, "You sure we want to do this? You sure we want to do this?" And also, he was unwilling to send his army to England, believing that a Catholic rebellion wouldn't start. So he was waiting for a Catholic rebellion to start before he invaded with 10,000 men. And the Duke of Norfolk was saying, no, you invade with 10,000 men and then the Catholics in England will support you. So it's a bit of a chicken and egg scenario. So a key part of the plot was that the Duke of Norfolk, Thomas Howard, he would marry Mary Queen of Scots and kind of become a de facto ruler of the UK. A king of England, a Catholic king of England. He was actually Elizabeth's cousin. His involvement in the plot was uncovered by William Cecil, and he was executed in 1572. This is a notable outcome. He was the richest and most powerful man in England up to that point. William Cecil uncovered the plot by discovering letters at the Duke of Norfolk's house, which implicated him in that plot, and that is what led to his execution. William Cecil was Elizabeth's first secretary until 1573. He was a very important man, her chief advisor on her on her Privy Council. So, what were the consequences of the Ridolfi Plot? Well, the Duke of Norfolk was executed in 1572. I've already commented on that, but that is a major, major consequence. Elizabeth tightens anti-Catholic laws. Mary Queen of Scots' situation worsened. She's still under house arrest, and it gets even more severe. She's watched more closely. She's allowed fewer freedoms. However, Elizabeth didn't execute Mary yet, and tensions with Spain escalate.